Hey everyone, Joe Emilio here for Truth Report. So let's talk about something that a lot of people have been asking about. From time to time, there's this speculation, this nagging feeling that South Africa's constitutional court fast-tracks certain cases. You know, the big politically charged matters with high-profile advocates that are all over the news. Meanwhile, other cases just seem to get stuck in limbo for months or even years. It's a valid question to ask, and after all, justice delayed is justice denied, right? So does the Constitutional Court give preference to certain cases? The short answer is not in the way you might think. An examination of the court's own rules and processes shows that while the justices do have discretion in how they schedule cases, there is no formal mechanism for giving preference based on political considerations or who the lawyers are. So what's really going on here? It all comes down to the nature of the case, the urgency claimed, and most importantly, the court's constitutional mandate. Think of it like an emergency room at the hospital. The doctors don't decide who to treat first based on their social status or who their lawyer is. They triage the patients based on the severity of their condition. The person with a heart attack, for example, gets seen before the person with a sprained ankle. The Constitutional Court works in a similar way. The primary mechanism here is something called a direct access application. This is where a litigant can go straight to the highest court without first going through all the lower courts, like the Supreme Court of Appeal. You can only do this if you have a matter of extreme constitutional importance or urgency. So who decides when a case is heard? The article makes it very clear. The justices of the Constitutional Court have full discretion. There is no fixed timeline for scheduling an urgent case. Some truly urgent matters, where constitutional rights are at imminent risk, can be decided within months. Others, which might be more complex or less urgent, can take a year or even more. The flexibility is deliberate. The court has to balance these needs of one matter with all the other cases on its roll. This brings us to the core of the issue. Why do some cases seem to move faster? It's because the court can and must prioritize matters that raise urgent constitutional issues with immediate consequences for people's rights or the functioning of public institutions. The urgency is assessed based on constitutional importance, not public profile. The reason some cases seem to fly by is often because they have intense media coverage. Their urgency is visible to the public, creating that perception that they are being fast-tracked. Meanwhile, a slower-moving case might be bogged down by complex facts, multiple parties, or procedural disputes that the public never hears about. And what about the lawyers? You often see the same faces appearing before the court, which can lead to the perception of an inner circle. But the truth is, the pool of lawyers who have the specialized expertise for complex constitutional litigation is actually quite small. The people who are briefed for these cases are senior counsels or silks who have deep expertise and experience. It's a matter of specialization and client choice, not institutional preference by the court. So to wrap this up, does the Constitutional Court give preference to certain cases? Yes, it has the discretion to prioritize cases, but that discretion is guided by a matter's urgency, complexity, and constitutional importance, not by who the litigants are or the political climate. The perception of favoritism often comes from the fact that urgent, high-impact cases, which are already in the public eye, are naturally dealt with faster. The bottom line is there is no formal evidence that the Constitutional Court favors certain litigants. Instead, it operates under a discretionary system that is designed to respond flexibly to the demands of constitutional justice. Thanks for watching this episode of Truth Report, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joe Emilio. Leave us a comment in the comment section. What do you think about all this? Do you agree with us that the Constitutional Court tries to be fair, or do you still think that they favor some cases? Don't forget to leave a like, share this video far and wide, and subscribe to Truth Report. We've got more content coming your way. And with all that being said, your Truth Report is in.